is our yearly NBA season preview. And as always, when we do this, we do it, of course, the degenerate himself, Zack.
What's up?
And, of course, the man, Professor. After a while, I haven't seen you in a little while on the show, Zack, Kris. We're coming live from Montana.
Yes.
Montana,
Beautiful.
Zack. He's in Montana right now.
I've been there, but yeah. How the hell do you have so much vacation time?
Because I don't get
a lot
for it.
Yeah, welcome to my world. So,
hey, big shout out to the Commanders down 10-0 already.
that game's on. I forgot the game is on. I don't even have it on.
I warned you, Ernest.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Nothing.
Washington, my survivor pool.
Well, I did take Chicago on the points.
Look, Denver is a do-right team for everybody.
That's a good point.
It is. Everyone can put up a ton of points, get a lot of confidence off of playing Denver, and then look what happens. They come in and smoke the Commanders.
Yeah. So if you guys know, every year we do this show. How we do this, the preview, we take each team, we take their Las Vegas number according to what it is right now, win total, and we just figured out whether or not this team win more or less than the number predicted in Vegas. So as always, you go in alphabetical order from A through W, from Atlanta to Washington. So let's get to the first team. As always, we have the Atlanta Hawks, who last year went 41-41. They made the playoffs actually through the play-in, beating the Heat, of course, but you know what the Heat did after that. But you have to go that later on. Their over number is 41.5. Kris, you haven't been in a while. Where you at the Hawks?
It's weird. The team, addition by subtraction, they moved John Collins after he had lost all his value for nothing. They still have a bunch of overlapping positions. I guess Quinn Snyder made them look better than they were.
He did.
I'll go over just for the pure fact that they can't be worse than last year with better coaching, but not by much. Maybe a game or two.
Yeah. Zachary?
Yeah, I agree. I like the over, but I mean, what is it? 2-3 games over? I'm not expecting them to win like 47-48.
Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a low total, and I think the Eastern Conference bottom half is really weak, and so they should be able to get there.
Yeah, I'm over as well, too, for the same reason. I'm over by maybe 2 games max, maybe 3 games max. 44 wins I can see max as a ceiling. My question to you guys is this, though. Does the Trae Young, Jonathan Murray thing work in your eyes?
Murray's got enough size to play the two, and it's cool to have 2 ball handlers, and both guys can play off the ball. So it works. I think the chemistry will be better, but just like at the center position, they're overlapping with Capella and Oneka. Yeah. And their wings, I mean, I was like the biggest DeAndre Hunter fan ever. I thought he was the next Kawhi coming out of the draft, and he's signed that big extension and has just stagnated. So who knows what's going to happen there. But their wings are a little iffy right now.
Zach, anything on Murray and Trae? You think it make it work, coexist?
For that team to really excel, I actually think Trae would have to take a step back. He shoots low 40s as a field goal percentage and low 30s now from 3-point range. It doesn't cut it when you're taking 20 shots a game if you're shooting 35%.
Right. I'm just wondering now, does the team consider trading him at this point? Because we heard rumors at the end of the year that the front office gave the team the green light to do it, and now wondering if that's something that they will still consider. You have Murray's contract ending after this year; he's due for extension. You know, clearly, I don't know how they want to keep both guys or just keep one and trade the other. I don't know. I mean, Trae has some value.
They signed Murray to a big deal.
He signed a new deal recently.
Yeah, he was signed as soon as he got there. Yeah, he's there.
Oh, right. You're correct. Yes, he did sign it at last year. That's right.
Look, maybe Miami will try Tyler Hero for Trae Young.
He's the face of the franchise. You can't trade him. At this point, you're just stuck with that combo and hoping the rest of the pieces will mesh together.
You're hoping you get Trae Young 2 years ago at least, man. Get him back, but I don't know, man. We'll see. All right, next one here. Here we go. Off the rip, the Boston Celtics last year went 57-25. Their over number is 54.5. Of course, they had a pretty active summer, trading away Marcus Smart, but they acquired Drew Holiday recently, and after Damian Lillard got traded to Milwaukee. We'll get that later on the podcast. Boston, of course, one of the most compelling teams in the league right now. I have a lot of questions about Jason Tatum in terms of like the next level and whatnot. But they're still good. They're still a really good team on paper. They're actually still pretty deep, even with all the trades they made. Derek White made a leap last year. Well, Jaylen Brown got paid big this summer. I mean, it is what it is. A lot of money.
Big contract up.
Yeah. So I think this is easy for me, really, with Jaylen Brown. I'm selfish, rather. I'm gonna go over. This is easy over for me. They're probably gonna win close to 60 games. Honestly, Zach, go ahead as Kris is recovering from here.
I mean, I totally agree. I would pound the over. This has got to be like the lock of the season, because even if Tatum goes down, you have Drew Holiday to run the show so that Jaylen Brown doesn't have to be a ball handler.
Mm-hmm.
It perfect fit, perfect structure for this team. You're bringing in Porzingis, who wasn't even there last year, as just an extra piece. Yeah, I think 60 wins it should be the bottom expectation for this team.
And honestly, I haven't seen the MVP odds yet, but I put money on Jason Tatum being MVP next year based on that alone too. Also, 60+ wins. I think the next leap puts him as a front runner for next year for MVP, for this year for MVP rather. Kris, you're shaking your head. What's up?
Yeah, the Tatum thing. I love Tatum. I think he's gotten better as a player, definitely for sure. Rebounding has gone up big time. I am not huge with the fact that there's too many mouths to feed now for him to win MVP. Drew Holiday's still going to get like his 16 to 20. Porzingis is coming off his highest point total ever.
I mean, assuming he shows up, assuming he's healthy, yeah, we'll see.
There's just too many guys sharing the rock there. To me, I think it's weird gelling it. I know you lost Smart and you make up with it by getting Holiday. I still think losing Smart loses some of that identity going forward. And I don't know if they're going to have that hustle and tenacious defense that they had before, especially like losing Grant Williams as well in that Porzingis deal. Like their smaller, grittier, tough guys are gone. Their goons are gone. And now you've gone
Rob Williams is gone too. Yeah, Rob Williams.
You've gone to a softer lineup. The coach was getting a little sus when answering questions.
Missoula.
And not responding well to it. So we'll see how he gets there. I mean, he just got thrown to the fire, never really thinking he was going to be coaching. So it's a big deal. But if they start off even a hair slow, I mean, Porzingis already got hurt a little bit on his foot. So if they start off even a bit slow to gel in the chemistry, I think you're going to see him kind of
hot seat
rumble a little bit, and then who knows what happens with that team. I mean, you got to remember Jaylen Brown was involved with all of these like trades before he found that big deal. Malcolm Brogdon, he was involved in every trade essentially, and him. So that relationship's kind of fractured. They're going to hit that total, but just barely. I don't see them going to the 60+ win. It's too long for them to gel. Granted, in the long term, in the playoffs, will they finally break through and get to the finals and actually legitimate in the finals? Who knows? I just think wow.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there in the pod, definitely.
A wow for them to gel. And I don't know if them losing that identity is going to help or hurt them.
Yeah, that's what I want to see is them going softer now, less gritty, more finesse. Does that hurt them long term? We shall see. But I just think if you get another leap of Tatum, Drew Holiday should fit okay there. Porzingis, he's healthy for the most part, plays at least 60+ games. I think this is a team. I think this is a team probably I'm looking at as all those things come into play. This is a team that's going to probably have best record basketball, in my opinion. Just saying. So all right. Go ahead.
About the Porzingis move.
Go ahead.
He's coming off his most confident year because he was literally only in Washington.
You had Bradley Beal there.
Just hurt.
You had Kuzma there. What are you talking about? Only option.
That was just lighting it up because he was the man. And now he's going back to being option 3 or 4 now with Drew Holiday there. I don't know how.
You know he's option 3.
I don't
The
know.
only person taking a real step back on shots is going to be Drew Holiday.
No, I think Porzingis is going to disappear and be a non-factor like he used to be back in like Dallas and whatnot.
Okay, well, we'll see how that plays out. All right, next team here we have the Brooklyn Nets. Last year won 45 games, albeit that is because half the year was played by Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and those pieces. The over number this year is rightfully so 37.5 wins. There's some talent on that team, to be honest with you, but obviously they're not going to be that top tier, team we all thought they were like the last couple of years. Obviously, it's a rebuild again in Brooklyn. Chris, we got the Nets.
I'm going under. I feel like Kel Brick is going to put up a monster here, but I'm not big on this roster at all.
Yeah, Zachary.
Yeah, I think it'll be an accomplishment if they top 30 wins. I'll take the under, and yeah, you're right. Mikal Bridges, he's going to look like a stud. And in reality, everyone knows it's just because of how bad that team is.
Yeah, this is an easy under. This is an easy under. Actually, one of the easiest unders of the year, honestly. All right, next one here. We have the Charlotte Hornets, who last year won 27, had 27 wins. Their overrun number is 30.5. Again, who is this team? I mean, LaMelo Ball, yes, and then pieces. So uninteresting. And Jordan sold the team, at least most of the team. This year's his team. Under. Easy under. Next. Zach, go.
Yeah, under. I mean, I know Kris probably has LaMelo Ball in like his top 10, but
he does. Allegedly.
Look, the dude, he doesn't contribute to winning. The team is poorly constructed. They should just burn the whole house down and start all over now that they got a new ownership group.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
I think you know what's weird though. You're coming back with Miles Bridges, who pretty much missed all of last year because of that weird suspension arrest thing. He's back. PJ Washington's back. The roster, I mean, if they stay healthy, they could easily hit this over. It's not a big over by any means. I don't like them to be a playoff team by any means. I don't even think they'll make the play in, but I think they could hit 31 wins.
I don't know. I think they'll be a high 20 win team, which puts it in play, definitely.
But I will say this. If it just looks like LaMelo and the Globetrotters, I think they might sell off some. Anyone who's playing halfway might get sold off in the middle of the season to contender, and then who knows what they'll be. But I think they can hit 1 wins, just barely.
But they won't do it, right?
No, I think they will.
They will. Okay.
So.
Would you bet it with your money?
Yeah, 31, absolutely.
Okay, 31-51. We'll see. All right, team to watch. That's like the Detroit people last year, but again, you guys got screwed because of the injury, so whatever. All right, next team here, Chicago Bulls. Last year won 40 games. Made a play in. Made a play in and lost in the about to make the playoffs, and the Heat won in that last game. Those are the Heat references, of course. Overall number this year 37.5, a little lower. They had the same pieces last year, pretty much, right? They still got Vucevic and DeRozan. You figure they could at least win 39, 40 games, right? I mean, but I'm gonna go under anyway, because I think DeMar DeRozan will be traded in the middle of the year. I think there'll be a seller by the deadline. That's why. Zach.
Well, I mean, I think the under is because they know everyone is always going to be hurt on that team.
Of course.
DeRozan got another year older. And, man, for some reason, I thought they had traded away Vucevic. You're telling me he re-signed a new deal with that team? Shit.
Yeah, he got paid. I think it was like a 3-year deal, too, wasn't it? 2-3-year deal? Nothing long-term, but...
Oh, then they did something smart. Okay.
Yeah. I think, anyway. I'd have to look it up in a second. We go under, too, right?
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
Chris?
I'm going over, baby.
Oh, my God.
I think Zach LaVine is going to bounce back huge. I think he's going to have a monster year. I think this is going to be... Now, Lonzo Ball's pretty much done for his career, looks like. So that hole in this point guard area is going to be tough, but I think between DeRozan and LaVine handling most of the ball most of the time, I think they're going to be a good team this year. I think they're going to be middle of the pack, kind of old Atlanta Hawks-esque, like, make the playoffs, not a real contender, going to get bounced in the first round, but they'll get there for sure.
They'll definitely flirt with the over, I think. I think they'll be right in the late 30s, mid-late 30s, but I just don't know if they'll get over hump. I think they'll be a seller at that point, though. And by the way, I was right. It was a 3-year deal, $60 million for Vucevic. So, yeah, but I think DeRozan will not be there by the deadline, honestly. I think one of the biggest names to get moved this year. All right, next one. Cleveland Cavaliers, last year, 51 wins, over-under, 50.5 wins. This is tough because had that trade not gone down with Milwaukee and all the moves Milwaukee and Boston did, I would have said it'd be an over. I think this will be a slight under, just because of the moves Bills made. I think 1 or 2 of those games they'll probably end up losing because of the moves made there. I think they'll be 50-win team this year. But I'll go slight under on that one. Zach, go.
Yeah, I mean, I like the under as well. I think 51 last year was remarkable, and all they did was get thinner on the bench. They lost so much depth during the offseason that one little injury to a big, and they have no rebounding. So, yeah, I like the under. I say 46, 47 wins tops.
Ooh, a little bit of regression there. Okay. Kris?
Give me Max Strus and the over, baby.
That's right. Max Strus is there now. I keep forgetting that. I was trying to get over
that. They
that.
got better in the shooting department. I love the moves. Give me Evan Mobley getting better. Jarrett Allen still being the same. Garland and Spider, another year to mesh together in the backcourt. Now, granted, they got punked by the fucking Knicks in the playoffs, but
yeah,
I think in the regular season they'll ball out again as usual. They have just too much talent not to win 51 games.
All right, next one here. We have the Dallas Mavericks, who last year, disappointing 38-win season. Their overall number this year is 44.5. Of course, they re-signed Kyrie Irving to that 3-year deal. Still got Luka. I don't know. Was last year kind of an anomaly? I mean, you lose Jalen Brunson before that. That obviously hurt. I don't know if I can blame Kyrie for the reason why they had a terrible year last year, honestly, because he played well. It just the team was bad even before he got there, honestly. So, but I'm gonna go over this. year. I think the Kyrie motivated this year. I think Luka is going to play better this year. Well, he had a good year last year, regardless. But I think they'll put together a little bit this year. I think they'll put it all together. I'm not saying win 50+ games, but they'll definitely win at least 40, 45, 46. I can see that. So yeah, I'll take you over on this one, Zach.
What's the actual number again?
44.5.
44.5. I'm counting on Kyrie, sitting out a couple weeks. Kyrie getting hurt for a couple weeks. And yeah, I think I can get the over as well. I'll take Luka in the over.
Okay. Kris?
Give me... man, this is a really tough one. I'm going to go under, just like barely. I think they're going to hit like 43. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be just over 500 and make the playoffs because the West is pretty shit. So,
all right. Next one, the world champs, Denver Nuggets, world champs. Last year, 153 games. This year, overall number 52.5. Their only loss was Bruce Brown. It's a key loss, but it's not the loss. Still got the big four, of Jokic and Murray, and of course, Aaron Gordon, and so yeah. So yeah, it's an easy over for me, obviously. Easy over, one of the easiest overs of the year. They're gonna win at least 55 games this year, I think, and they'll probably number 1 seed in the Western Conference. So I got the over on the Nuggets. Zach, what you got?
The Western Conference is so much harder because 55 games could win it all. Be the number 1 seed out of the West because
that's unpredictable.
Shit.
And the thing is, you look through this whole runner as you get through this list here. There's a shit ton of teams in that glut, that 40, 44, 43 win glut. A lot of teams in there, like at least like 6 or 7 teams in the West.
All right, I'll get on the hype train. I don't want to, for the simple fact now that Denver has won, They know they can win it again, and they don't have to be the number 1 seed. But yeah, fuck it. I gotta have the under. I can't go over. I gotta have the under.
Okay, that's fine. Kind of pace themselves to the playoffs, right? I guess I can see
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Okay. Chris?
Stay healthy.
Okay.
Easy over. Oh my God, Michael Porter Jr. taking another step.
Yeah.
Murray and him both coming back a year further removed from injury. They're number 1 seed in the West. Garrett, lock it up.
Yeah.
I know
All right.
Phoenix is good, but lock that shit up right now. Their core group, the gelling, the chemistry, coaching, the home court advantage of being in elevation. You know,
Yep.
give
The
me that.
only thing you can lock up about Denver is that Michael Porter Jr. is gonna be out at least a month.
That's all right.
Even then, but I said that they have enough pieces around them to sustain that.
But those two
Okay.
stepped so big in the playoffs between him and Aaron Gordon, just becoming these defensive stoppers and rebounding like madmen. They're just
And I
unreal.
think, I think even with everything Phoenix did this summer, I still put them as the favorite because I think that the chemistry and just that their team's just well coached and it's just they put together well. I mean, they're set for the next 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that one over as well too. All right, next one here. The Detroit Pistons last year won 17 games. This year, overrun number 27.5. I think they'll improve this year. Obviously, losing Kate Cunningham most of the year last year, I mean, that hurts. But they'll improve this year. I'll still take an under, but I think they'll improve. They'll win about 25 games. Right? I mean, 25 games is, in that. Because I think other teams in that conference are going to take a massive step, a leap. And we'll get that in a second. Zach, what you got on the Pistons?
I was shocked as hell they did not trade for Ayton. First off,
Yeah.
I thought they were for sure trying to accumulate the last 3 top bigs in drafts. Like, I don't understand what they're doing there, and I don't think the coaching staff does either. But yeah, if Cunningham's healthy, maybe they win 22 games. Give me the under.
All right. Kris?
Whoa, you forget the biggest move of the offseason, Dwayne Casey moving up to office position. Monty Williams, a new head coach, with a fresh Cade Cunningham coming off the U.S. team.
But give him time. Give him
No,
time to set it up.
easy over. They're going to crush that.
What are they going to win? 30?
They'll be playing
If they win
contention.
30 games is a surprise, honestly.
Playing contention.
Damn.
Whoa. Oh, my God.
That's like 10 games over the over.
Yeah. So acquire at least 30, 37, 38 wins. He's getting the provocation.
Yeah. Lock
All
it
right.
up.
Okay. Lock it up. All right. Next one here. Here we go. The Golden State Warriors last year won 44 games. Over on number 48.5. I'll be honest with you. This is the first time. This is the first time I can say this in about maybe a decade. This is the easy under. This is the easy under. Now, look, I think maybe in the playoffs they figure things out and they'll get all together. But I don't understand the Chris Paul move. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. And then I'm hearing now he's going to start. They may play Klay Thompson at the 3 and the 4 it stretches, and they didn't get better. I can argue they got much worse, and they got older on top of that. And for the first time, this is the first time in about 8 years where outside the one injury year, where I can say I wouldn't even put them as a title contender right now. I think there are 3 or 4 teams in that conference that are much better than they are right now currently. And you're going to add more pressure to Steph Curry and those legs gets older. Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, Klay had moments last year, but Klay has been inconsistent now. You can say Klay's been kind of Like, I don't even think they're a top 3 team in the Western Conference right now. Top 4 team in the Western Conference, for that matter. I think even when Ja gets back with Memphis, I can say I feel better about the Grizzlies right now in the 7-game series than the Warriors in the 7-game series right now. I don't know. Zach, am I wrong here for thinking this? Under. Am I panicking here?
I mean, first off, you said everything that's true. If I was Steph Curry, I'd be flat out fucking pissed. Because you're watching almost every other player who's in the top 10 getting help. And all they did was make it harder for him to compete. You brought in a guy who is shorter than you to run the point now. You take the one thing that made him so special, which was the magic he had with that ball, and you take it right out of his hand. I don't even understand how Steve Kerr could coach this team now. It changes the whole dynamic of the offense. As soon as you move Stephen Curry from the point guard position. And finally, what's their tallest guy now? 6'8"?
Well, Looney is 6'9".
I understand we're trying to
What is
play
Looney?
small
6'9",
ball.
maybe.
Yeah.
They brought in Dwight Howard for meeting, didn't sign him. Wondering why. He could have helped. And he's cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just panicking here. I don't know, man.
First off, how do you spend $200 million now in luxury tax and not even have a chance to compete?
You sure about that?
They're paying the piper now. All the titles they won, they're paying the piper now.
They could have been free and clear of the tax rate if they'd have just let Draymond Green leave.
I gotta be honest with you. Like, think about it. Now that we've had months away from the situation now, obviously there's a chemistry issue with Jordan Poole, but I'd rather have Jordan Poole than Chris Paul right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because of the fact that security.
You needed someone who could play defense.
I don't know.
Well, I'm going. Are you going under 2, Zach?
Way under, yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Go ahead. Kris.
Give me the over, baby. Give me the point guard taking pressure off of Steph so he can just run all down screens and this, that, and the other. Give me Andrew Wiggins not missing 40-plus games like he did last year and him balling out. He's the dominant number 2 guy in that team now. Clay will just be a third option, sharpshooter. He's going into his Ray Allen age of his career.
Yeah.
Of the big 3. And I think give me Andrew Wiggins to ball out here.
Here's what I'll say.
Establish himself as the Robin to Steph Curry's Batman. Give me the over. Tried and true system. Plug in anybody, it's going to work. You plug in a Hall of Famer, it's going to work. Stop it.
Here's what I will say. I can see that playing out where the Warriors get hot later. They have a chemistry issue early on. It takes a little while to get their legs on them, and maybe they figure things out by February, March. They won't get the over in that number, but they'll get a 5 seed, a 6 seed like they did last year, get hot late, and maybe by April, they're a different team. But I'm looking at this roster, I'm like, what the hell? I don't see. I don't know.
When you say they'll figure it out by like February, are you talking about like they figured out that Chris Paul shouldn't be there and they trade him?
That could be one of the reasons. That could be one of the things. Who knows?
Okay. Because that's the only way they're getting better.
Right. I don't feel like they're. I just don't feel like right now, optics wise, they're one of the 3 best teams in the Western Conference right now.
Hell, how did you not take Ayton instead of Chris Paul for the size when that trade went down?
Because the money. It's a lot of money.
Why? You were guaranteeing Chris Paul's whole year. It was $30 million versus $30 million.
But Ayton's is due another like 80, 90 million to 120 million, I think.
Bro, who fucking cares when you're having a point guard or a shooting guard play center because you have no height on your team?
No, Zach, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. They need a big. I'm agreeing with you. I think I'm not saying the reason why they didn't go that route is because of the money, and when the money owed to that guy. I think what they're doing. I think what they're doing now with this team is. I think what they're doing now is year to year. They're gonna go year to year. Figure out year to year. They're paying the penalty now for those titles and go over the tax now. Now they're paying the price for it now, and they're gonna go year to year in this situation with the staff and go forward from there and plug in when they can. I don't know, but I will say, did I draft them last night in our fantasy draft? I drafted them last, right? Yeah, that's when you cut off.
No.
Yeah, that's when your phone cut off at the end.
You took Golden State before that.
No, you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm wondering anyway. We'll see. All right, next one. Houston Rockets. Last year, 22 wins. Over under 31.5. Wow. Is that the Ime experience there? 31.5. And Van Vliet probably too. Acquiring Van Vliet from Toronto. Acquiring your boy Dylan Brooks in Memphis also too. I can see this team being frisky a little bit, but still I'm taking the under. Still taking the under because the West is too good. It's the environment more than anything else. So under for me. Zach, what you got?
Oh, I'm taking the under. Easy under. Don't tell me anything about how the coach is going to help improve this team. They've missed on so many draft picks there. That is just a dumpster fire right now.
But I think it'll be frisky though. It'll be a
Yeah,
tough
okay.
out every night. You don't think it'll be a tough out night?
No, I think they're going to put I think they might win 20 games, 22 games tops.
Ooh.
And you know what they're going to lose by on average? 10 to 12 points.
Oh shit! You have an implosion. Okay.
Implosion, that's all they did last year. I think it's a repeat.
Oh wow. Okay. Kris, do you agree with Zack here?
This is league pass alert. This is a team you want to watch. Udoka is going to take them to new heights. Jalen Green took a massive leap last year, taking another massive leap with a real coach. Van Vliet, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr. is going to ball out with this new system. They're going
up to 10
under.
points?
They're going under, but they're not going to. They're going to be super competitive and fun.
Right, so to your point, Kris. Last night, Zack and I did it on our segment, EJ Degenerate segment last night on the podcast. We did a fantasy draft, NFL League Pass fantasy draft. What was my honorable mention last night, Zack?
That was your honorable mention.
That's mine, Houston.
Yeah. Look, the only leap Jalen Green's going to do is out of the league. The only reason why he's still in the league is he was such a number one draft pick?
Something like that.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Yeah,
there you go. That's the only reason why he's still in the league.
Well, we shall see. I don't know. Look, I agree with Zack that it'll be under. Well, you had under too, Kris, but I don't think they'll be the below the 25 win 12. I think it'll be around 27 to 30.
They're going to be the super fun to watch, super competitive, just losing. But
that's why we're Kris on that one. I'd be very competitive actually because of just coaching, because of the veterans I got there. That's where I'll stay, but it'll be under still. All right, next one here. The Indiana Pacers last year won 35 games, over under 38.5. This team was frisky, and we're actually a top 6 team in the Eastern Conference going into January last year. And then Halliburton gets hurt. He's healthy now. I'm going over. This is a playing team for me. It's a playing team for me. They're gonna be one of my teams to watch. They made my league pass draftee team. I think that this is a playing team, possible playoff team, depending on what the matchup they get. So give me the over in the Pacers here. I'm big on the Pacers here. Zachary,
I'm right there with you, man. And I think Halliburton's gonna take that leap like Shea did last year.
Yeah,
and go into the MVP conversation.
Ooh. You can see him making the third team, second team.
Look, when you average 25 points, 10 assists, and you can bring in 5 rebounds, dude, that's special. That team was gonna get better.
Was that kid's name you liked a lot? Mathurin also? That kid Mathurin?
Yeah.
Really good.
Kris, you had him pegged for like rookie of the year last year.
Ben Mathurin's great. High volume, very low efficiency. That was a little weird, but he's
better than Jalen Green last year.
High energy. Love him.
You going over under on this one, Kris? Pacers.
You know what? This is one of those things where I'm the only guy who had Halliburton in this top 25 last year. Okay, so
you have been there. You have been there last year.
I could have sworn I had him. Maybe I didn't, but
no, I was the only one who had him.
Play the tape. So we have the podcast from last year. It's still on the feed.
And, I'm huge on Halliburton, but I think this is one of those teams that if they even barely underachieve, all of a sudden Miles Turner's on the move.
Yeah. Buddy Hield possibly.
I was just thinking about Buddy Hield's on the move. All of a sudden, all the pieces start to go, and they're in a full-blown rebuild, like OK style where they just build around, Halliburton. They surround him more younger talent. But I'm gonna go under just for the fact that I think they're gonna end up making some moves and actually moving. They'll be sellers, even if they have a mildly decent year.
Mm-hmm.
If they're guys they want to move, like Hield, who led the league in 3-point shooting last year, and Miles Turner have good years again, you move those guys when you get max value for them because you're probably not going to re-sign big money.
Here's what I'll say to your point, Kris, and I agree with you on that one. Their season will be defined in the first 2 months.
Yeah.
If they are floundering under 500 by late December, early January, you're trading those pieces away. I agree 100%. They to the point, and I think they'll play well out the gate because they did play well out the gate last year, and then Hubbard got hurt in January and missed most of the year. I think that if they start off well, they'll be fine, and I think they will start off well. So give me the over in this one. I think Hubbard will at least this time stay healthy. So I like the over. So are you gonna go under or over in this one?
See, to me, even if they do play good, I think if they're playing good, that means their guys are going to have max trade value, and I think they're going to those guys. So no matter how they play, I think they're going to end up making moves and be
depending
sellers.
on their standing. If they're a top 6 team in the Eastern Conference, though, by Jen Fibber, they're not going to do that to that franchise.
You trust the process. You move guys at max value. Do you want to be the Toronto Raptors? Do you want to be a team that just lost all their dudes? Like,
yeah, but they won a title a couple years ago. This team's done shit.
What is this trust the process thing, first off? Because I haven't seen that succeed even in Philly.
You have to either be super shit or super good. There's no in between in today's NBA. So you might as well, if your pieces that you're not going to re-sign the big money, you can't let them walk for nothing. Because then you just end up being shit.
No, I see a logic on that, Chris. I see a logic, but I don't think I'll play out.
You could be an average team and catch every break in each round of the playoffs and make it all the way to the finals.
Miami Heat.
Don't talk like that. He's listening.
You watch your ass, okay? Are you going over or under this one, Chris?
Oh, under.
Oh, okay.
Moving pieces.
Okay. All right. Next one, LA Clippers. Last year, 44 wins. This year, the over number is 45.5. Probably the most frustrating team to predict because this over number one, if all things equal, all things healthy, Kawhi is healthy, Paul George is healthy, this number's in the 50s. But I think Vegas realized we don't trust this team, so fuck it. I don't trust this team. I white flag. I'm done. I'm going under just based on the injuries. Surprise me, Clippers. Surprise me, Steve Ballmer. I'm going under just based on the injuries. So I doubt Kawhi plays more than 55 games this year. So that's why I'm going to go under in that one. To make the play-in, the playoffs, and just what happens there. I think for them, it's all about when they are healthy. Are they healthy in time for the play-in / playoffs? And then if that, then maybe they go on a surge late in the year. But I'm going under. I give up on the Clippers, so I'm under. Go ahead, Zach.
I don't know if you guys were paying attention during the offseason, but they put out a rule. You had to play so many games in order to be in. Yeah. So only because they have this rule now am I taking the over.
Okay. I don't know if you saw Media Day 2 days ago, Zach. And I don't even know if you believe what Kawhi Leonard said on the Media Day, but he wasn't even aware of that fucking rule until 2 days ago.
And he said, I don't give a fuck. If I don't feel like playing, I'm not playing.
Exactly. And right there, boom, under.
Well, essentially what they said is you can't.
Have you ever believed a word out of Kawhi's mouth?
I mean, he doesn't say much, to be honest. He was like, really.
Yeah.
To be fair, he doesn't say anything.
Kawhi and Paul George and Russ all in the same game. Like, you can sit one, but don't sit all of them. Don't make the game absolutely fucking.
The problem is I don't trust Kawhi and PG to both be healthy this year at the same time.
See, you know what's funny to me? Call me crazy. I trust Kawhi more than Paul George now. And I think it's like Paul George is too busy on his fucking podcast every day.
It's a good show, though.
It's a great podcast, and that's the type of shit that makes me think like he's just going to suffer through soft tissue injuries because he's not trying as hard anymore, and he's got the backup plan already in place. He's already transitioning post basketball. Like, I don't like that attitude anymore. Ooh. Though this is their one chance. I feel like they're both coming into the year healthy. If it's going to be any year, it has to be this year. Or they're going to blow the whole fucking thing up. So give me the over. Fuck it. I'm going to go all in one more time. I think Russ settled into his role there. Give me the over.
Not for nothing. Russ played very well when he got there last year. He was really good.
Sneaky Ty Lue. Good coaching job there so far.
See, that's the reason why I would go the over is if it's because Ty Lue he's a great coach. I just don't trust those two stars to stay healthy at the same time. That's the problem.
Don't matter. Ty Lue knows what he's doing there.
That's how Ty Lue's such a great coach.
You doubting this though? Is that a thing?
I'm just saying he had LeBron the only time
So
he started out, and now all of a sudden he's a great coach.
Who's your GOAT all-time coach?
My all-time GOAT coach?
Yeah.
Probably gonna be Popovich. Or Phil.
And one had Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant. You don't get to use that logic anymore. Stop that. Don't use that logic ever, okay? Popovich had Tim Duncan, okay? And Dave Robinson. Stop.
Yeah.
Cut the shit, Zach. Yeah, LeBron. So you say LeBron's the greatest of all time now? So you make a case for LeBron being the greatest of all time now, aren't you?
No, what I'm saying is you took a 3-year sample size of him coaching Cleveland with LeBron and have made it out as if he's a great coach.
No,
the
but
Clippers
was impressive.
And only that, right?
And you know what I know from Pop? He kept winning when he got stars. You know what I know with Phil? Every time he had a star, he fucking won.
Right. We're not.
You know what I haven't seen Ty do? Lou? He hasn't won in LA.
Now, to your point, though, we're not saying he's on that level yet, or even close to that level. But to say he's not a great coach in the league right now, presently, it's kind of asinine.
Infuse Russell Westbrook, who is a fucking team cancer guy, and infuse him perfectly mid-season and actually extract max potential out of him.
Yep.
And being on and off Kawhi and Paul George all year to get them to like the 5th seed. Oh my God, that's impressive.
You know what sucks though about this team too, especially? They have arguably the best roster top to bottom in the league in terms of like depth. But it can't fucking stay healthy. You got Terrence Mann and all these great pieces there that work, but they just can't put it together because no one's healthy.
But can we also go back a couple years? You're talking like Russ is a team cancer. He didn't blow up Houston when he was there with Harden. They still managed to get to the playoffs.
That's a Harden issue, honestly. Harden won't play anybody.
He got to the playoffs with Chris Paul and OKC, right?
I won't go for
props.
Was that now?
You have to give Ty Lue props for his coaching job he's done.
I wouldn't call Westbrook a cancer like that. I think it's just too damn chaotic as a player in general.
I think he's a selfish player, so he won't help other players. But to pretend like he's a cancer for a team when he's yet to cause a team to miss the playoffs.
Give him a Harden. I'm sorry. He shows up to play. Well, Harden plays up to play too. Harden shows up to play in June 1-82.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, next LA team, Lakers. Last year, 43 wins. This year, overall numbers 47.5. They had a great summer. They extended AD this summer. They re-signed Austin Reeves. They brought some nice pieces around them.
Vincent, your boy.
Shut up. Gabe Vincent. They had a really, really good summer, man, honestly. But as we know, guys, everything falls on not just two guys. It really falls on one guy. It's Anthony Davis. Can't stay healthy. And again, I think this is the first year we'll see him play pretty close to the edge of where he should be to get awards. He'll play 67 games this year. He'll miss time. He'll miss time this year.
Stat-wise, he was there last year. He just played in like 50-some-odd games.
Yeah, I think he'll bump that number to 67 this year. So he'll be in the MVP conversation possibly. I'm gonna go over. This team will win about 50+, low 50s, but 50+. I like the roster around them, but again, this is trusting that the pieces around them will show up when the main pieces are in play. If LeBron and AD stay healthy for most of the year, this team is fine. We saw in the year how it happened. They caught on fire late in the year, got to play in, won the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, and then they got swept by the Nuggets in the conference finals. But that being said, come on, AD.
The most competitive sweep ever.
It was competitive though. They lost by combined 13 points in 4 games, some shit. So I don't know, but over me on this one for Lakers. Risky over. I wouldn't bet it, but over anyway. Go ahead, Zach.
So I heard you talk to me about how if this guy stays healthy and this guy stays healthy, and it all falls on 2 guys,
one guy,
or really one guy if he's healthy. You know what I know? A 40-year-old man ain't going to be healthy in the NBA. And a brittle 7-footer is never going to be healthy in the NBA. So give me the under, give me your money, and let's call it a day.
Again, I wouldn't bet it. I said I wouldn't bet it. I wouldn't bet it. Go ahead, Kris.
I like they've brought on a youth movement, but with vets or like failed lotto picks like Rui Hachimura. But I feel like you're going to see that Austin Reeves contract. I just don't see the ascension there. He is where he's going to be. Too many times where a guy's young, you just think, oh, every year he's going to get better. No, some dudes just are where they're at. Yeah. That's where Austin Reeves is. He is what he is. I'm huge on both, AD and LeBron, but I just don't see him being healthy enough to make this over. They're going under 100%. I think Darvin Ham's going to feel that heat once these guys start getting hurt or if there's chemistry issues. Darvin Ham's going to feel that media pressure because of the roster he has and the moves they made, and everyone's just applauding them right now. Give me an under. I mean, they're not going to miss the playoffs, but they're definitely going to be like in that low 40 range for sure.
Right. Okay.
They'll be in that glut of teams.
But they'll be a playoff team that you want to play, assuming they're healthy by April, of course.
I mean, look, they made fucking Western Conference Finals. I mean,
yeah.
AD, when he's on, the man plays top
10
5.
Top 5 in the league,
yeah.
Top 5, yep. When healthy, yep, absolutely.
Plays both ways, top 5. But, man, that dude, I forgot who called him this. It was a female reporter, called him half man, half a season. And I was like, God damn, so accurate.
Who called him street clothes? Oh, Stephen A. Smith called him street clothes. Yeah. Oh, no, Charles Barkley. No, I'm with you on that one. Look. My prediction is based on a feeling that they're gonna stay healthy, but I would not bet that, guys. Don't bet with your money on my money. So,
nope.
All right, next one here. Oh, it's Chris's team, Memphis Grizzlies. Last year, 51 wins. This year, over under 45.5. I am going to go over anyway, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to praise Zack for something he said 2 years ago. This team, despite not having John Morant for 25 games?
25 games.
Okay. Has already shown itself in a nice sample that they know how to win without Ja anyway.
Just like that.
Zack called this
with Dylan Brooks. They had Dylan Brooks back then.
Shut the fuck up. Zack called this shit 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when I argued with him, saying, stop. Because we were talking about MVPs and Ja and this and that. He said, no, well, they do. They're 10-2 without Ja. And no, they have shown the last 2 years that they can win against John Morant. Not saying that they don't need John Morant, because John Morant still is the piece you need to get over the hump. But they've shown they can win games without John Morant. They'll get him back, and they'll keep the train moving. They'll still be a top 3 seed in the West, in my opinion, maybe top 4. Give me over on the Grizzlies this year. They're young, they're tough, young, and they have the horses, man. So, I mean, I know it's your team, Kris, so you're a little more invested. I get it. Go ahead, Zack. We're on this one.
I think it's going to be a tight, razor-thin over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because Memphis is one of the deepest teams in the league.
There you go.
I mean, Kris, you know how deep your team is.
The
only reason why you couldn't even beat the Lakers was because Steven Adams was injured at the time.
He's back.
Yeah. I mean, you got size, you got speed, you got shooting, you got defense.
You got Derrick Rose.
I mean, you got everything.
Derrick Rose.
You know who you don't have this year?
Who?
Tyus Jones.
No, you don't have no.
When John Morant was out all those games.
No, you don't have Dylan. You don't have Dylan Brooks. You don't have Dylan Brooks either, according to Zack.
God,
net positive, in my opinion.
The reason why the team was so good without Josh, because Tyus Jones was so steady and always led the team. He's gone. That chemistry is gone. Jaws, who knows if he's gonna fuck up again while he's.
You also trusted him now.
Stupid ass.
Man. First off, with the way these contracts are going, I would have just sued the NBA. I'd be like, y'all are fucking with my money. Yep. I did not break the law.
Yep.
This is not illegal. This ain't even in the handbook to say this is wrong.
He was allegedly beating up 15-year-old kids in pickup games, bro.
Yeah, but he
Seven-
gave the family a couple million, so it doesn't count.
17-year-old kids. Close to
Yeah, and I
adult.
bet you that 17-year-old was like 6'8".
Give me
Probably.
under. Jaron Jackson, he is what he is. He ain't
You don't
gonna.
see him making another jump?
No,
Another leap? Damn.
got paid $200 million. You think he's gonna get any better? No.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
again, Chris, this is not the Bengals, okay? This is the Grizzlies, okay? I know
Brooks.
you're all down on your teams right now, but it's not the Bengals. This is the Grizzlies.
Bro, under by a lot.
Wow, okay. Playing team, you're saying.
Barely.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
This
Next
is my-
one. Speaking of teams, the greatest team in the history of sports, your Miami Heat. Last year, won the Eastern Conference, won 44 games last year, made the play-in, made the playoffs, won the East. The same. 44 wins last year, over-under 45.5. We already know they lost Gabe Vincent, they lost Max Strus, they did not get Dame Lillard.
Or True Holiday.
No Drew Holiday. Depressed. Jimmy's a year older. Tyler Hero's back.
Hell, you guys missed out on Bradley Beal. Don't forget that. That was your first.
Bradley Beal too.
A tough year older. Deep playoff run older.
It's funny because you would think a team that went to the finals last year would have a good summer. Yeah, right. Anyway.
Especially in a tax-free state.
Yeah. I think it's something. I think it has to do with Riley. I think it's a Riley thing. I will say, and I said this even before the Dame trade went down, because I got annoyed at some point. I'm kind of excited about this young talent on the team, though. I'm actually kind of excited about how these guys gel. Josh Richardson's back on this team also. I think have a nice year. Rook too.
You're ready to see how Jovic plays.
Jovic, he's put on some muscle, 30 pounds of muscle, dude. Looks great. I'm trying to tell myself to go over, but I can't. I'm gonna go under again. This is gonna be a team that's gonna pace themselves in the to the playoffs. I think they'll get the 6th seed though, like last year. They'll get the 6th seed. Last year they paced themselves in at 44 wins and got a play-in. They'll get the 6th seed this year, pace themselves, and then we'll see how everything plays out. Because you remember too, also their teams in the Eastern Conference on top that are gonna come down to earth now too. Also, we'll get to them in a second. I'm gonna go under in the Heat though, so under at 45.5. Slight under, 44 wins, 45 wins tops. Zach.
So I want to reiterate, the NBA season does not actually end until the last finals game. So I was right. Miami wasn't over last year.
Shut the fuck up.
But this year I'm right there with you. I'll take the under. I'm not even sure they get to the play-in game.
You know what's sick though? It's like last year I had the same prediction, an under on the Heat last year, and I got lambasted by Heat fans for this shit. I even said to my family who are Heat fans, they might be a play-in team because, and my argument was the fact that on paper last year the East got better. We assume Atlanta would be good this year. We assume Cleveland would be good last year. All this stuff, and guess what? I was right all along. Now how things played out in the playoffs, that's different. But during the season, I was fucking correct. Just saying. Kris, go.
You gotta go under, man. You let Gabe Vincent and Max Strus walk because you're in hopes of getting Dame. Dame already went out and said, yeah, I want to play for Miami only. You strike out. You strike out on every fucking dude. Now you got Jimmy coming off a deep playoff run, a year older. Mm-hmm. You have Tyler Hero, who's expected to get moved the whole summer. Now he's coming back. Now, granted, I don't think that's a fractured relationship by any means. He knew the business. He knew what was going on. But at the end of the day, I don't know if he's like – he hasn't proven to be able to take the next step without losing that efficiency. It's either he's really good with other good players or he's really bad when he's the lead guy. So if Jimmy goes down, he hasn't shown to be able to step up and make the team better. So he's just not that dude. He's a number 3 option.
I think you're being too hard on Hero.
No, he's a really good number 3 option. But
Zach loves the white boy.
First off, in college, he wasn't a point guard, and now you're trying to transition him to be a point. a starting offensive point guard in the NBA, something he had never done. Like, I mean, there's got to be some realistic thought there.
Scotty
Keeping
Barnes did
him
it.
at a shooting guard, you're gonna have a top 40 player in the NBA.
No, he's like top 75.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're trying to make him a point guard
Yeah, because
instead of letting him be what he
yeah,
is.
you gotta remember he has to put Chris Paul in that 75 before he puts Tyler Hero in that 75. So that's why you
Well,
got
fuck.
shooters. It's Chris Paul.
Chris would put Chris Paul in the top 10 all time if he was allowed.
Of course he would. It's Chris.
Oh, this guy, I mean, you got to understand, he just had injuries and his teammates sucked. That's why he couldn't do anything.
I'm sorry, Chris. You're not living down that Kawhi Leonard take from last year. Sorry, you're not moving that down. It's on my web. It's on my YouTube page still to this day. I am not taking it down.
You know what? He started off the season looking halfway decent too. Hit a game winner like right off rip, and then just
Kawhi, he would play one game, take 3 off.
all we said was
Like,
top,
I didn't even know what week he was playing.
no. All we said was it wasn't top 5. We said it wasn't great. I had him top. I had him top 15, but I just did the injuries. Whatever. That's Kawhi. Whatever. Anyway, next team here. We all have under in the Heat. Okay.
Yeah.
Next team here. The team that beat Miami for Dame Lillard services, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who last year won 58 games. The over on number is 54.5. Of course, last year best record in the Eastern Conference, best record in the league last year actually, and they lost to the Miami Heat in the first round of playoffs.
Bounced in the first round.
Yeah, in 5 too, which is crazy. Obviously got Dame. You traded away Drew. You re-signed Brook Lopez. Re-signed Chris Middleton. So you have most of the core back. I look, this is an easy over for me, obviously. I just want to know if losing Drew is going to hurt more than you realize because the defense on the wings. Look, the interior defense is still fantastic. Those have Portis and Lopez, those boys out there. But I still think that move with Drew Holiday, if the Celtics are healthy, I think that move pretty much canceled out Dame going to Milwaukee, in my opinion, assuming that the Celtics stay healthy. But in terms of the Bucks in the regular season, they're definitely over for me. An easy over, in fact. Zach, what do you got?
What would you do if a guy you would pay $200 million to said, I want out of here? Are you going to send him to the beautiful tropics of South Florida where it's tax-free? Or are you going to send him up to a freaking blizzard? I loved it. I love that he got sent to Milwaukee. And I think it was to make him suffer.
Suffer? He's one of the teams going to win a title next year. What are you talking about?
I paid you $200 million. You are not walking out in sunshine, all right? It's gonna fucking
we
snow
agree
when
with
you walk
optics,
to your
but
car.
at least they made a good basketball move for him too. Also in the process.
Oh yeah,
they didn't do wrong by Dame, for the record.
No,
for the record,
I agree. They gave him a chance to win because he couldn't win on his own or carry a team on his own.
You know what? I'll say my hot take for the Portland section of the of this preview. Go ahead.
But yeah, easy over. I think this is one of the other two out of 2 teams getting 60+ wins. Them in Boston.
Yeah. Kris?
Now, I think people forget Coach Bud is gone. They made a move. Is Adrian Griffin ready to be that guy to lead a star-studded team?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, Spo did it. Fucking.
Yep. Spo was a fucking Pat Riley's puppet, just being controlled by Pat Riley. We all know. Now he's not. He's grown into that role, but at first he was just Pat Riley's guy. Now, I don't know. That's going to be the biggest thing. You don't have a new roster by any means. Their core group's pretty much the same. But when you're incorporating a big name with a new coach, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I'm shocked that they just immediately got rid of Bud and blamed him for that first round knockout. I'm going to go over, but just barely. I don't think they're not going to be in that 6 category. They're just going to be like them and Boston being right there towards the top.
Zach, I love that whole soliloquy. Just to say over anyway.
Look, I mean, I just want to make a point that Lillard couldn't even lead his own team. So let's remember when we're doing a top 25, he's a Robin. He's not a Batman.
He's Robin now.
He was a Robin then. That's why he couldn't get anywhere.
Here we go. Start. We're not going to have that. We're not going to have this Lillard hitting us. Zach, stop it. Stop it. He did this last year. We're not doing this again this year. Okay. All right. Next one here. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves. Last year, won 42 games, over under 44.5. So, prediction here. I think I'm gonna make a prediction here. I think Cat asked for a trade this year. Content asked for a trade because this is officially. It wasn't obvious last year. It's obvious now. That is Anthony Edwards' team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially after that the performance in the FIBA thing exhibition, want to call it, championships, want to call it. Yeah, it's his team now. So I think Cat asked for a trade at some point. Maybe not in the middle of the year, but maybe end of the year. And plus they got to make a move anyway because you can't keep both him and Gobert those contracts, and they're stuck. And no one's taking Gobert's contract. Sorry, no one's taking Gobert's contract. At least not right now anyway. So Cat's the only other piece you have you can move to get more assets back. So I'm gonna take. That being said, as far as over under, I'm going to take a slight under. Not because everything great. It's that, again, the conference is too damn good. And I think there'll be some more infighting between Edwards and Cat not fitting in, and he's going to feel fucking out of place and this and that. He might miss some more games on top like he did last year, and he asked for a trade and all this shit. I just think Cat is going to be the odd man out going forward. So give me the slight under on the Timberwolves. They'll win 42 games probably. 43 games maybe to max, but that's about it. So give me under in T-Wolves. Zach, go.
Yeah, I'm taking the under, and I think it could be a really big under.
Oh,
the simple fact, I think the team implodes.
I see that.
If you didn't see what happened during the season last year, and the GM sat there and said, "You know what? Let's run it again and see if they can gel." Why do you have a job? Like, you saw it didn't work. You should have done everything you could to make a trade this offseason.
It's the T-Wolves, bro.
And then
what they do.
Like,
they
we're
feel
talking about
upwards.
Anthony Edwards and the FIBA championship. I think he's going to press to try and prove he is an alpha. He's a top dog, not just on his team, but in the league.
He is an alpha, though.
Well, he's an alpha, but is he an alpha player? There's a big difference.
But Edwards or Cat? Hold on.
Edwards. I'm talking about Edwards is an alpha guy, but is he an alpha player in the league?
We shall find out. All right, Kris, go.
We're all in the same boat here. Give me the under. Give me this team falling apart. This is just a fucking train headed off the rail immediately. They're just never going to know how to play with each other. It's just the worst roster construction in the league.
Yeah. Well, again, the Timberwolves, they feel upwards.
It's not even close. Oh my, Gobert, Cat, Anthony, they'll never know how to play with each other. That team's going to fall apart immediately.
Yeah, totally with you on that one. All right, next one here. The New Orleans Pelicans last year won 42 games, over under 44.5 wins. So last year, if you guys remember, when Zion was healthy, they were actually the number 2 seed in the Western Conference through first third of the year. Then Zion gets hurt, and they fall apart. Then they recover late last year to make the play-in. It's all about Zion here, man. If he's healthy, this team is a dangerous team. We saw last year when he's healthy, that team is really good. I'm going to put my eggs in the basket one more time for Zion to stay healthy. One more time. I'm going to trust it. Give me the over. Zach.
So I only took the over because someone sent me this picture of a guy in shape. Do you know who sent me that picture, Ernest?
Did Zion text you again?
Yeah. So because Zion might actually be in shape and able to play more than 26 games this season, I'll take the over.
All right, Kris, go ahead.
It was crazy. They almost, they overachieved with what they had. Now, couple big injuries to start the year. Jose Alvarado, bad ankle injury. Trey Murphy, they're both going to be out. Big contributors for the first month of the season. So, unlike this is like the anti-Minnesota team. CJ, Brandon Ingram, Zion, perfect roster construction. They all complement each other's game. That team just flows perfectly. I love it. I just don't love Zion staying healthy. I just can't see it. There's too many. It's been proven time and time again that big men that just always get hurt continue to always get hurt. That is just a fact. He's on the Greg Oden trajectory right now. So in that case, I'm gonna go very slight under. I still think they're gonna be a playing team again, but they're right in that glut of like mid 40 win teams in the West.
One of like 5 or 6. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, next one here. The New York Knicks last year won 47 games. This over number this year is 45.5. The Jalen Brunson effect was real last year. You saw one team that he left go from West Conference Finals, not miss the playoffs entirely, and the other team went from missing the playoffs to making the playoffs, winning a playoff series, just like that.
Kris, I thought that was a terrible contract. Like, how could you sign this guy?
That might be honestly, but in terms of the value, now granted, it's only 1 year, so we'll see what happens in this year and beyond. But in 1 year, 1 year sample, the greatest contract of all time.
I told you guys.
You're right.
And
you're
neither
right.
of you wanted to listen.
No, you're right, dude. You weren't lying. I totally agree with you. In hindsight, of course,
Yeah.
but they didn't do much really in offseason. Really, they kept the same pieces pretty much. I don't see any other massive moves they made.
They literally returning like the top 8 out of 9 players on their roster.
Oh yeah, they traded away Obi Toppin. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So got RJ Barrett. So got the same pieces. Julius Randle made third team last year. He was good. Kind of messy in the playoffs though.
Monster.
Huh? Yeah. The problem is, he can stay healthy. He had a great. He was able to play most of the year last year. The problem is bad shot selection in bad moments. I'm going to take a slight under on this one though. I think they win about 44, 45 games. I just think, again, like Cleveland, you got teams that are going to elevate a little bit more, and they'll probably lose a game or two less, a game or two more than they did last year. They'll still be in the same picture as they were last year, but I don't see them improving. Do I see a leap? No. Would they crater? No. I think they'll be the same team that were last year in that 44 to 47 win mark. So give me a slight under at 45.5. Zach, go ahead.
Give me a slight under as well. I don't think we're going to have 3 teams as terrible as we did last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just don't see it possible for New York to win as many games as they did last year. So I'll take the under. Even though a huge Brunson fan, yeah. I think they will play better in the playoffs next season even.
Yeah.
I just don't see him winning more than 45 games.
Yeah, same thing here. Kris.
Dude, the fact that Jalen Brunson dominated Donovan Mitchell in 2 different leagues, like just blew my mind. They absolutely curb stomped the Cavs in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go to coaching. The Tibbs effect. That man ran every fucking player into the ground. Every one of those guys played the most minutes in the league. One of those guys, Barrett, Randall, Brunson, will end up having some like season ending injury because he's just gonna run them fucking ragged, and they're gonna hit the under. That man just does not know how to rotate players.
Right. To your point,
guys that he trusts, and that's it.
To your point, that's why they hit the ceiling. They hit the ceiling last year. They won't pass the ceiling this year at all, and I can see him cratering slowly starting next year if they don't make any changes.
Played the most minutes in the league last year
for the same reason you said. Same reason you said. I'm with you 100% on that. All right, next one here. Oh, this will be fun. Zach, here we go. OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder. Last year, 40 wins, Over under 44.5. What did they first pick last year in our draft last night? Was it me or you?
Yes. Yeah.
I
I
picked them, right?
had to rush to the podium to
Yeah.
put in this selection.
First number one draft league pass team this year to watch on our draft last night. I'm gonna take a slight under only because of that glut in the Western Conference. I was tempted to take the over because that talent. You obviously got SGA, first team All NBA last year. Josh Giddey had a great year. You also got the return of fucking Chet Holmgren. So they're exciting to watch. I think they'll win 44 games. I just think they won't get past 44 just because of the glut in the Western Conference, but they'll be in that play-in playoffs, 6 seed, 7 seed spot right there, right in that mix. But give me the slight under on OKC. Go ahead, Zach.
I love this team.
Me too.
I love the over for this team.
Ooh.
Look, if Chet can stay healthy for the season, I think this is a 50-win team. I think this is a top 4 seed in the Western Conference. If Chet can stay healthy. Because what they were lacking was that rim protection that he would offer.
Yeah. You're saying that they're this year's Kings?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I can dig that. All right, Kris, where you at this one? I want to hear what you had to say this one.
Give me the over, baby. Jalen Williams,
man.
stud. Chet Holmgren, game changer. You're bringing in the number 2, probably should have been number 1 draft pick that year. Absolute stud.
Yeah.
SGA, absolute superstar.
First
The
time
fact
NBA.
that the fact that he looked like the best player in the FIBA championships, Josh Giddey got some more great experience in that as well. Only gonna make this team better. This is a team that's young and just going up, up, and up. Coach, fantastic. Give me the over.
All right, next one, Zach.
I
Stay
don't think they'll be
excited.
high as
Huh?
Zack has them, but they'll be over for sure.
Yeah, Zach comes over too. So, all right. Stay excited, Zach, because we got the Orlando Magic next. Last year, 34 wins. This year, overall number 37.5. I told y'all last year that they were one of my favorite teams to watch last year on League Pass. They got like nice raw talent on that roster. I'm taking the over. They're playing team this year. They're playing team. I don't know. I just think this team is very talented. As long as they don't get any injuries, or massive injuries anyway, to the core guys, they'll be fine. Give me over in Orlando Magic. Last year there were moments where they were beating some really good teams last year, and if they can curb the bad losses to bad teams, it should be okay. They're very frisky. Give me over in this one for the Magic. Go ahead, Zach.
Well, maybe I'm a homer.
Maybe.
But look, I think we have a beautiful back or a beautiful front court, but I've yet to find a single guard that can lead our team. We don't have a point guard who's there to distribute. All we have are a bunch of shooting guards who want to chuck up threes and hit air balls. And so because of that, I don't care what kind of belief you think you have in my team. And I don't care what kind of leap Pablo makes or any kind of leap that Franz goes on for his 3rd year. I'm taking the under because I know what my team will do.
Mm-hmm.
They'll fucking suck.
Just taking the under.
Yes.
Damn. All that doesn't go under, man. What a fucking. Go ahead, Kris.
Fringe playing team. Give me the over. Franz Wagner just led Germany to the FIBA championship. He's going to take a big lead. I think he's going to. I know Banchero was the rookie of the year, but Wagner is the man on that team.
And I told you about him last year, Kris, and you were telling me, oh, he's nothing.
Well, no, he's just a one-dimensional player. He's like essentially he's trending towards Lauri Markkanen. So I mean, that's what you're looking for.
I think everybody in the league is looking for that.
I like draft picks. They got a shooter to surround them. You know, they have a lot of talented bigs. They got a shooter.
I noticed they took the shooter with the 2nd choice, and he wasn't even one of the top 3 or 4 shooters up in the draft.
It was a weird draft pick for sure. They had a couple of dudes that are questionable, but instead of doing what they usually do and just like compound positions, they've actually kind of constructed the roster a little better. Give me the over here. Super fun team to watch. Give me the over.
Oh, one last shout out. I want to shout out to the GM for getting rid of one of our 7-foot tall centers because
See you,
we only
Obama.
had 6 of them. So thank you.
None of
Thank
5
you
now,
for
right?
cutting it down to 5.
Yeah. All
Bye,
right.
Obama.
All right, next one here. We have the Philadelphia 76ers. Here we go. This should be fun. Last year, 54 wins. Over-under, 48.5. James, look, here's the good news. James Harden is not bad. James Harden actually is in shape at camp. That's the good news. The bad news is how long will we be on the team? This is a disaster waiting to happen. I think Embiid be great, but even with that, give me under. This is the easy under for me, man. They're gonna take a massive step back because of the hard stuff. So give me under in this one easy. I mean, we'll see what happens if they trade Harden, if they do trade him, what pieces to get back for him. But even then, this is a team that's and I'll say it again. I said it on the podcast a couple of episodes back. I think Embiid asked for a trade at the end of the year. That's where I'm at. Zach.
I'm with you. I think the only reason why the over-under is so high is they think Philly will actually get a haul. I don't see James Harden playing one single game. I think he'll show up, be in shape, look like he's ready to go play for another team. I don't see him stepping foot on the court.
Where'd you go? Clippers?
I honestly have no idea where he goes. But I will take the man at his word that he won't play for the team again.
All right. Kris.
Give me the under. This is one of those things where Embiid's been too healthy at a high usage rate 2 years in a row. He's gonna get hurt. That's just a proven fact.
You just do for injury now.
Time and time again, big men who get hurt. This man didn't play for 2.5 fucking years to start his career. You think he's just now gonna be like the most used player in the league, lead the league in scoring back-to-back years and not get hurt? That their championship window has come and gone. They're done. The whole Harden drama, killing the team. Maxi's gonna have a balling out season, but besides him, I just don't see this team. And Tobias Harris, who knows what you're gonna get with him? Fucking one night he's 30 and 13, and next night he's
2 and 5,
10 points and like 3 rebounds. Like,
yeah, I'm with you.
Getting paid $30 million a year. So give me the there. They're done.
All right, next one. Phoenix Suns. Last year, 45 wins. This year, over under is 52.5. Of course, they acquired Kevin Durant last year. They also acquired Bradley Beal, as well to join Devin Booker. They traded away DeAndre Ayton to Portland. They also in that trade got Nurkic, Joseph Nurkic, in that deal, which I think is an underrated move for them. Addition by subtraction, honestly, by getting rid of Ayton. Easy over me, obviously. They'll figure out a way to win 55 games at least. Possible 1 seed in the Western Conference, if not at least 2 seed. 1 or 2 seed. Zach, Kris disagrees with that, I think. Zach, where you at on the Suns?
Oh, I think they're the 1 seed. I don't even think it's going to be a competition for the 1 seed. I think this team will blow everyone out as far as scoring goes, and they won't even really get pushed until the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think they're the 1 seed, so I think they're going to come close to 60 wins. I don't think anyone out of the West gets 60, but they'll be real close.
Kris, what was that face about, man?
For one, we're not forgetting Frank Vogel is the coach.
And he won a title in LA, so what?
Oh, God, the bubble title. Get the fuck out of here. He's a scrub. Now, granted, the one thing he can do is coach defense, and the one thing these players have never done in their careers is play defense, so maybe he can turn them around. But you're giving me a team with no true point guard. Brad Beal is your point guard now because they traded away everybody. Campaign's gone. Everyone's gone. Now, before the trade, I thought the team was shit, and they were going to be having a lot of trouble. Now that they got rid of Ayton, People forget Nurkic was starting over Jokic to start his career. Jokic was on the bench to Nurkic. Like, he's a great player.
What?
You're not losing.
Nurkic has been with Portland the whole time, and Jokic has been with Denver. How are they starting over each other?
Denver. Nurkic was a stud in Denver, and they moved him to Portland, and he's been a stud his whole career. He still gets hurt, especially later on in his career, but look it up. He started his career in Denver, starting over Nikola Jokic.
They didn't overlap, but okay.
They did. Look it up.
All
now,
right.
you don't lose anything with that move, but you gained a bunch of depth, and that was the thing that the team was missing. But I think they're going to take some time to gel when you have three gunners like that. Now, granted, they're really good players, and they're all at the point of their careers where they all just want to win. So I don't think that's going to be an issue, but I think he's not the right coach for these egos for them just to hit the ground running and just dominate the league. Give me Denver to be the 1 seed. They're going to be over, but
no, Kris is right. He's 2.5 years in Denver to start his career.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going to be a good team. They're going to be over, and they're probably going to be the 2 seed in the West. They're not going to take over Denver.
Over.
They're going to be over. 52 is really low. 52
I need a clarification, though. So Vogel won a ring with LeBron, and Tyronn Lue won a ring with LeBron, and Vogel's won more games without LeBron, but he's a bum, and Ty Lue's one of the best coaches in the league.
No,
Ty Lue's an explanation.
Ty Lue's done a great job with the Clippers. That's proven. Frank Vogel,
he's got 2 stars.
He melted down with the Lakers and couldn't handle the media attention. What do you think? He has an even more loaded roster.
He melted down, or did LeBron just not want the guy there to begin with?
I'm saying they won in spite of him, but we'll see how he does here.
All right, next one. Portland Trailblazers last year, 33 wins, over under 20.5. Obviously, we know what happened with the Blazers. They drafted Scoot Henderson. They traded Dame Lillard as we said, this last week, and Nurkic was mentioned. Confession time. Heat fan here talking. Joe Cronin was right. Joe Cronin did the right thing. Joe Cronin actually did the right. What he did was smart. Not only did he get the value on the Dame trade by getting Drew Holiday and then trading him away for assets and getting back more potential assets, getting Robert Williams and getting Brogdon, 2 guys that are going to have some value to a contender this year, and can probably fetch at least a first rounder for each guy.
Robert Williams ain't going anywhere.
Robert Williams, however, though, if I'm the Blazers, I hold on to him till February, and then if a contender needs a rebounder, because I believe a desperate contender who don't give a fuck about picks will put up a first rounder for him. He's 25 years old, dude. He's 25 years old.
Yeah.
He's still young.
That's why I don't see them trading him. Just like that was the whole point of taking Drew Holiday.
The thing is, though, he has because of his injury risks, he has no value to that team right now. He's too risky to keep on your roster. I'd rather trade him as much as you can and get back an asset for him and keep, because remember, you're rebuilding. They're rebuilding at this point, so they don't need him.
Oh my God! You're blowing my mind.
Although I hear that Ayton will start shooting threes now, so maybe that changes. I don't know.
Hold on. Robert Williams is 25 years old and has no value to a team that's rebuilding and not trying to win.
I wouldn't hold on to him for one reason. He's too injury prone to hold on to.
That's why you keep him. He is cheap. He is not a $30 million a year guy. He's a $10 million a year guy.
But if Portland's thing is getting as much assets as possible, I believe he can fetch a first rounder and then some.
But are they there now at this point?
We mean there now. We mean
you got a starting center, a starting power forward. You've drafted a point guard and a shooting guard over your last 2 drafts. You're missing a wing.
They're still a bottom fucking 3 team in the Western Conference, dude.
Are you
still a bottom 3 team. Yes, they are. In that conference, yes. Under. Come on. 20.5 wins. Under. Max 26 wins this year.
Hey, real quick, what was the over-under for the team before they traded Lillard?
33.
33. It dropped a whole 5 games for a guy that y'all think is special. On a shitty team, it only dropped 5 fucking games.
Because they got back good talent. They didn't just
Yeah.
get back picks. They got back
But
talent.
I know they got talent back. I'm willing to bet Aiton goes 20-10 for the season. I'm willing to bet Robert
Assuming
Williams
he's
goes
hitting-
12-8 for the season.
Do you trade Brogdon though? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would trade Brogdon. I would not trade Robert Williams. I'm certainly building around DeAndre Ayton with at least 2 of my 3 guards I just drafted. If anything, I'm trying to trade away Anthony Simmons instead of Robert Williams.
Well, I'm going under anyway. Slight under. Go ahead, Zach.
I'm taking the under. It's the freaking Western Conference.
There you go.
They are going to be very Houston,
Frisky.
where you have established guy like Jeremy Grant, who's going to ball out. I think the one thing you have to worry about is the Scoot Simons backcourt is giving me real undersized backcourt vibes like Dame and CJ did when they couldn't break through because those 2 guys just didn't play enough defense. I feel like this new backcourt combo is eerily similar, where they're just both like super. They're just not thick, dude. They're small. Like Simons is wiry as shit and smaller for it too.
He's 6'3", 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
Hey, Kris, I have a quick question for you. If you've got all these short little guys for your guard positions and you're trading away a short little guard, do you want another short little guard in return? Like a short little white guard named Tyler Hero?
You fucking dick.
I mean...
But I like the roster construction. They're actually building a solid scoring lineup that actually makes sense and not just like overlapping position over position over position. I like the moves they're making. They're going to be super competitive. They're going to lose all those games. They're going to be competitive shit. They're going to be just like Houston. Fun to watch. Big time potential. I wouldn't be surprised if they're only 1 year away from being a actual play-in team contender.
Well, it depends. If Minnesota implodes, we think it was going to happen. A couple of teams implode, yeah.
And that's why we put them in our top 5 of our league pass draft.
Yep, correct. I look forward to watching Scoot this year, definitely. All right, next one we have the Kings. Second round of Kings. Last year, 48 wins. This year, over under 44.5 wins. Was last year a fluke? I don't know, but I'm gonna take the over anyway on this one. I like what they have in Sacramento. Mike Brown did a great job with that team. Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. The talent there is great. Keegan Murray. I mean, there's a lot of nice young talent there too. Pushed the Warriors to 7 games last year in that first round. That great 7-game series in the first round. I don't know if they'll get the 48 wins like last year because now they're on the radar now from game 1. But I think they'll get over the 44.5 threshold. You need to get the over. So give me the over on that one. Zach, go.
Well, I told you about Keegan Murray.
He's great.
I tried to tell you.
But I wouldn't listen.
If there was anyone who wasn't gonna who could off Pablo from the Rookie of the Year, it was gonna be him.
Yep.
And he came damn close.
He was second, right, last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's gonna make an even bigger leap. I expect him to be like a 20-point guy. Like he has a chance to compete for 6th man of the year in his second year because that's how important he is to the team. 48 is just such a high number in the Western Conference.
No, the over-under is 44.5, I think.
Oh,
right?
44.
No. It's 44.5. Yeah.
Oh shit.
48 was a win total last year.
48 last year.
Oh, there we go. That's what they're. Yeah, I'll take the over.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kris. So
the only reason why I'm not big on like a big jump from Keegan Murray, not the fact that it's him as a player because he's fantastic. The talent around him is going to stunt his growth. He's not going to be there just putting up volume like other guys will. But the efficiency is there. He's a stud. And he fits so perfectly with that team. They're just building a winning team. They have 2 top 25 players in the NBA.
Yes.
De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. Hey, I was the only person that has Sabonis in his top 25 last year. And I knew they were going to make the playoffs because they are a great team. Me and Zack called it about them making the playoffs because Ernest went under. And don't forget that they brought
Did I go
in.
under that one?
Yeah,
Yes.
last
Ernest, you
year.
don't see anybody coming. You don't see players coming. You don't see teams coming until Stephen A tells you.
Ernest was the only guy sleeping on the Kings last year. Now, don't forget who they brought in off the bench. The EuroLeague MVP, Sasha VZ, weird wonky last name. Super sharp shooter. Super low-key pickup. I love them. Give me the over. They'll be just as high a seed this year as they were last year.
All right, here we go. Next, we got 4 more teams here to go. All right, it's next San Antonio Spurs. Last year 122 games, over a number 28.5 wins. Of course, that first pick in the draft. Wembanyama is now officially there. Guess look, this is an under for me because I don't even know if he's playing 65+ games this year because of that coach, because Popovich. If he'll even allow him to play that much games, but they'll be a must watch obviously because of Wemby. But again, environment. The team is young and being put together now on the fly. So, under. It's easy under for me. Zack.
What's the total?
28.5.
Yeah, I'll take the over.
Did you over?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he's that special. They're going to be like a 30-32 game winner.
Wow. Okay. Kris.
They're definitely going to win 30 games. He's that good. Trey Jones, that good. They locked in their core with Keldon Johnson being a bona fide 20-point a game scorer. Devin Vassal's locked in. You got to hope these young guys actually just reach their potential, but Pop's going to get them. Pop's never signed a bad deal when he's been coached. You've never been like, damn, they signed that contract? Oh, my God. Like, Pop tells them to sign off on them. They get paid. Those guys always perform. Give me San Antonio 30 on the dot.
My problem is that if I know Wemby's playing at least 65+ games, yeah, I'll take you over. I just don't think he will play 65+ games this year.
Why do you think he's not going to play that many games?
Because Popovich is, you know how he is.
Why would Popovich doesn't rest rookies?
Yeah.
He wants them to have the experience to learn and grow.
Popovich is very stubborn though. So I mean, look, if I'm getting 65+ games of Wemby, then yes, I'm taking the over in that one. But I don't think we're gonna get that. That's just the bottom line. And he probably missed some injuries too. I'm sure. So, all right, 3 more teams to go. Toronto Raptors last year, 41 wins. Over under this year, 36.5. This is gonna be easy. Easy under. This team's gonna be like Chicago is gonna implode. They're gonna trade pieces. Siakam's probably gonna get traded at some point this year, if not end of the year. OG Numby is going to probably get traded as well too. You hear his name being called. Yeah, this is going to be a Messiah Jerry blow up here. So easy under. Probably honestly, bottom Eastern Conference team this year. Zack, go.
I just can't imagine them blowing up the team.
Why?
I mean, they held on to Van Fleet until free agency. They could have traded him away at the deadline and gotten something back.
They should have.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, they should have traded quite a few players.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see them having a sell-off. The fact that there's, one team in Canada, I don't see them saying, hey, we have to sell off to start all over. So give me the over.
All right, Kris, go.
I mean, their GM, they have the best GM in the league. So the team is very directionless right now. You lose Nick Nurse. He's gone. He's in Philly now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge upgrade. Don't forget that. But losing Nick Nurse and now Siakam's going into his free agent year next year. OG's going. Well, they all have player options. They're all going to turn them down.
Yeah.
You have OG going into a player option. He's going to free agency. Now, this is a team unlike Indiana, where Indiana, if some of their guys play good, they're going to train them off because they need assets and they have a star to build around. All Toronto has those two guys and Scotty Barnes. That's it. So I think they're either going to trade both or they're going to re-sign both and then start with that core of 3 wing players and try to build around them. Because I think, their GM is going to be able to build a core relatively quickly, but this is not the year for them. They're going to go under. But no matter what, it's a very directionless team right now. Until they make the step to either re-sign both guys or trade both guys, you're not going to sign just one. You're either going to trade both or going to re-sign both. So until they make that move, I just don't know what the team's going to do.
Yep.
But their coach, which was my beloved Grizzlies top assistant, is gone now, head coaching that team. That's another reason why I contributed to the Memphis's under, because losing him was big. I'm gonna go under. I just don't know which way this team's going.
Right.
But no matter what they do, they're going under.
All right. Last 2 games. Last 2 teams here. Let's do this quick. Utah Jazz last year, 37 wins, over under 5.5 wins. Last year, kind of frisky most of the year. Remember, you thought they'd be a bottom feeder team, and they ended up in a playing spot last year for a while. However, this year, easy under. The West is better. They'll probably be solid team, mid 30s, low 30s maybe. But the conference is too good. So give me under this one. Zach.
Give me the over in this one.
Oh.
You're asking me to expect a guy who will probably be top 5 defensive player of the year not making an offensive stride, and Walker Kessler.
Mm-hmm.
Told you about him when he was in Minnesota.
Yep.
Getting drafted. Marketing, I don't think it was a 1-year blip.
No, that I agree
in
with.
Chicago when he was allowed to do his thing. They see it in Utah. He's a star there. That whole city's going to be behind him. So I can see some growth from just those 2 players, and I'll take the over.
The Great White Hope marketing. Go ahead, Kris.
For that city, yes.
For Utah,
I
especially,
like the move, getting John Collins. The coach did a great job. I just think they were able to really feast on the bottom feeders last year, and they just played out of their minds. Like they overachieved so hard. I can't see. I don't think marketing. He won most improved player. I don't think that's a fluke by any means. And Kessler is going to get better. He's a fucking force on defense.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I just don't see that. I'm like, they're going to go ahead and they surprised teams last year. I think that's all but gone.
Yeah.
So the under, I don't think they're going to underachieve, but they're going to be where they should have been last year, which is towards the bottom.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, last one here. The Washington Wizards last year won 35 games. Over under this year, 23.5. They got Jordan Poole. They re-signed Kuzma, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, so re-signed Kuzma. I think they'll go over it, actually. They got enough veterans to get 24 wins. A slight over.
Oh my.
A slight over. Slight 24 wins. Jordan Poole, new home. Why not? Fuck it.
This is no. This is the only team in the league who can compete for under 20 wins this season.
Not Detroit.
Like this will be the worst team in the league. I know I got it wrong last year with Utah. Okay. But I can't be wrong 2 years in a row. This will be the worst team in basketball.
All right, under for you then. Okay, go ahead, Kris. Under also?
You got a duo of Kuzma and Poole that's just going to be chalking. These dudes are going to be stuffing their stat sheets in losses. Talk about just the best players on the worst team. These guys are just going to fill it up night in, night out, not giving a fuck about the team's actual wins. This is a terrible team. Terrible. When Kuzma and Poole are your top 2 players on your roster, Give me the under. I don't give a shit how low it was. If it was 20, it was 19.5, I'd take the under.
And it's
Wow.
not even the talent that those two guys are, it's their attitudes.
Oh.
Because they will just chuck no matter what.
They're just two dudes that want to be that guy. So they're going to be the guy on just a losing ass team.
We'll keep eyeing this team this year. You know, us three keep eyeing the teams, how they're doing. We'll check in so often on the podcast. Hey, how's the overrun looking? I don't know. I think they'll get 24 wins. That's all.
Fucking God.
All right, quickly before we go, MVP this year. Rapid fire. I got Jason Tatum, MVP. Zack.
Shit, I didn't know I had to be prepared.
It's all right. Let's throw a name out there. I don't give a shit. Tyler Hero, go next.
KD.
Go ahead.
KD.
Ooh, the bounce back. That's not a bad one.
Give me Luka. He's the best player on the team. He's going to be able to put up the most insane stats ever. I mean, the voter fatigue of like big men is. You can clearly see Jokic should have won 3 in a row. They just won't give it to dudes, more than 2 times.
Yeah.
So give me Luka. Give me the Great White Hope. He's going to win MVP.
All right.
I would love that, but I mean, he's playing with Kyrie, so he's fucked.
Right. All right. Rookie of the year. I got Scoot Henderson in Portland. Zack.
Oh, it's Wemby.
If he wins again, if he plays 65+ games, yes, I'll go Wemby. But nah.
Oh,
by a landslide.
Yeah.
Only other guy that could compete is maybe Brandon Miller in Charlotte. To be honest, like he's gonna get some touch as over there as well. And Melo will try to feed him. Terry Rozier, not so much, but I think Melo will try to feed Brandon Miller, and I think he'll get some big time games in Charlotte.
Yeah, I think the Scoot thing, everyone's gonna realize he's just like Jalen Green, a chuck scorer. Okay. He does not have a shooting touch.
All right, Coach of the Year. I got Joe Mazzulla in Boston. I think he bounces back. He bounces back. They won 6+ games this year. He'll get his recognition this year. So Joe Mazzulla. Zack. Think of a team that's like that bounces back out of nowhere.
Yeah. So
maybe OKC coach?
No. I would go with who's the new head coach for the Suns?
Vogel.
Frank Vogel.
Yeah.
Throw it in Chris's face.
When you win the 1 seed in the East, that's what happens.
On the West, right?
And hasn't Frank Vogel already won a Coach of the Year?
Yeah,
so
Indiana.
You're laughing.
Indiana, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Oh my God.
Kris, who you got?
Give me Mike Brown.
Again?
Yes.
Okay. No. I don't hate it, but I mean, again?
I don't even know what he could do to continue.
They would have to win 55+ games from to win the Coach of the Year.
He'd have to be the 1 or 2 seed.
Yeah.
You're just not going to see anyone else being particularly like insane. Given the talent on those teams, I just don't think you're going to see any of those guys like, oh my God, he's clearly the reason why this team.
Well, I have Mazzulla because I think they win 60+ games this year, probably in the mid-60s.
Yeah,
if anything.
You're
doing crazy. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. Am I missing any other individual awards that are interesting? MVP, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year.
No.
That's about it. Okay. East Finals. I got Bucks Celtics. That's easy. Go ahead, Zack.
Bucks Celtics.
Kris.
Give me Bucks Celtics, God.
Okay. West Finals. I got Nuggets and I guess the Suns. I mean, seriously, it feels like chalk. Go ahead, Zack.
Nuggets in Sacramento.
I almost went that route. I almost did it. Go, Kris.
With the age of the super team, how can you not go Nuggets Suns? Barring injuries, you just on paper you have to go that route. You have to.
And your NBA Finals is I got Celtics and Nuggets. Zack.
I got Bucks Nuggets.
Okay. Kris.
Give me Bucks Nuggets.
And my NBA champion is, unfortunately, I'm going to throw up my fucking mouth, the Boston Celtics. Oh. Go ahead, Zack.
Nuggets.
I hope you're right, man.
Give me the Nuggets in a repeat, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
The
awesome.
only thing that stops the Nuggets is an injury.
Yeah.
Major injury.
Yep.
Aaron Gordon and MPJ like stepped up so people don't realize like how good Michael Porter Jr. played because he wasn't like scoring 30 a game because they just think of him as like offensive talent at 6'10", but his rebounding and just his gritty defense at him and Aaron Gordon just stopping dudes was unbelievable. Like, who's going to beat those guys? As long as they stay healthy, give me them. And Jamal Murray taking that step off the ACL injury, he's only going to be better. Give me the Nuggets again.
Right. And there you go. There's our NBA preview, season preview for this upcoming season. Zach and Kris, good job as always, man.
Yeah, man.
All right.